Check, check. Yeah, it's hard to find.
One
Here
second.
it is. It's over, no,
Add a
it's
Jamal Grove.
shortcut here.
I was ready to go. What is today?
See you again.
Okay, I'd like to call to order. I'd like to call to order the Planning Commission meeting. Today is October 17th, 2024. Could I get a roll call, please?
Commissioner Light,
Present.
Commissioner Boswell,
Present.
Commissioner Craig,
Present.
Commissioner Gaddis,
Here.
Commissioner Conroy,
Here.
Commissioner Lamb,
Here.
Chairperson Hazeltine.
I'm here. Okay, a salute to the flag. Can we get Commissioner Conroy to start that for us tonight?
Ready? Begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Okay. Could I get a motion for the blue folder items?
Motion to
Accept?
receive and file blue
Yes.
folder items, please.
And a second. All those in favor? Aye. Okay, great. And we have a consent calendar. This is business items that are not on the agenda tonight. Would anybody like to pull a consent calendar item up here? No. Okay, is there anybody online that would like to pull or discuss a consent calendar item?
There are currently no attendees.
Okay. Motion to approve the consent calendar.
Point of clarification, Chair.
Oh, sorry.
Do we have we're supposed to have the minutes for November and December on there?
It was in the blue folder
That was the
item.
blue folder item. And the agenda, okay, I just wanted to make sure the
Yeah,
agenda
it was
it
correct.
still reads the incorrect.
Right, okay,
So
but it's
you
in the
might want to
blue.
announce
Okay, so we
that
did,
it's for November and December minutes.
okay, perfect, yeah. So there was a change in that, and it was for November and December. Okay, perfect. A motion to approve the consent calendar.
Motion to approve the consent calendar
Second.
items.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Passes, okay. So this is the public participation on non-agenda items. And this is a section intended to provide members of the public with the opportunity to comment on any subject that does not appear on the agenda for action. This section is limited to 30 minutes. Each speaker will be afforded 3 minutes to address the commission. Each speaker will be permitted to speak only once. Written request, if any, will be considered first under this section. Is there anybody that wanted to speak on non-agenda items?
There are currently no attendees online.
Jim, are you here for non-agenda items?
Yes.
Well, come on up.
Thank you. I found this to be by far the friendliest commission.
We try. We have the most intense job, so we try to be the most friendly.
Okay, well, and I thank you for the opportunity to speak tonight.
And your name and where you...
Jim Mueller, District 5. I live on Matthews Avenue.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you again for the opportunity to speak. And through my shoe leather survey of North Redondo, I've identified several chronically vacant properties in both residential and commercial areas. The greatest plans in the world will end nowhere without follow-through and adherence to the policies and codes that result from the plans. So I've tried to work through Code Enforcement Office, but have found them unresponsive, even to conditions clearly in violation of the code. For example, a common feature of these properties is junk cars. Having a junk car on property is a code violation. But in the case of 2017 Artesia, it took me 5 months of complaint to code enforcement, 2 follow-ups by Scott Barrett, and working through the city manager to finally see that junk car removed. Many of the properties I've identified as chronically vacant have junk cars on them. A chronically vacant property on Faber has a car sitting on 4 flats with a license tag from the year 2012. I reported it to code enforcement several months ago and followed up. It's still there. Another condition is rodent access and harborage. A chronically vacant property on my street, Matthews Avenue, has an outside door with a hole in it much larger than a good-sized rat. I reported it to code enforcement and several times and asked for follow-up. No action. Finally, I reported it to the county health department. They responded immediately, gave the owner 14 days to fix it, and it was done. By the way, I searched the Redondo Code for rules on rodent access and harborage. The only restrictions rats face in Redondo Beach is access and harborage in vehicles. Houses, I guess, are okay. There's something you commissioners could fix, because of all the vacant properties I've identified, all the vacant properties I've identified have either holes big enough to allow rats in or brush that could provide them harborage and access. The city council didn't take the attorney's offer to add a code to address chronically vacant properties, which is a shame given Redondo's need for tax revenue, school head count, and affordable housing. Thank you.
Thank you. Good job on that.
Thank you.
County got your rat taken care of.
That's
They're
right.
really good at that. Mosquitoes as well, by the way.
Great response.
Yeah, they come out right away. They don't like messing with that stuff.
Before you go, Jim?
Yeah.
Sooner than our own.
Your mic is off, by the way.
Turn that on.
There we go. There we go. I just want to thank you for your persistence in this matter. You're clearly a very caring Redondo Beach resident, and you want the best for your community. I do appreciate that you have continued to persist.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, I love Redondo Beach, and I would like to see it be a really great community and continue to be a great community.
I do have a question about something you said. You said something about the city council not taking up the vacant lot, the vacant property. Is that
Yes.
accurate or what?
Yes, Councilperson Kludovich asked the attorney to look into the matter of having a code to address chronically vacant properties, which he did. And they came up with a study, and they discussed it at council. And he offered them that he would write up a code for them. But Councilman Nierenheim said, no, we don't want to do that. And nobody else spoke up. So it kind of died there.
Did that die, Sean? That thing that we added to the general plan, that died?
Yes, it hasn't died. They haven't acted on it yet. So
So have you thought about writing to councilperson District 1?
What would I say?
Exactly that. Ask, talk to him about it.
one word, why?
Yeah, okay. I just
Yeah,
asked him
yeah.
why he dissed
Well,
it.
he just missed our conversation because I think he'd support it. Go ahead.
Yes. Oh, Mr.
Oh, I'm
Boswell,
sorry.
please.
I'm sorry.
Gotta
Mr.
look this
Boswell.
way sometimes.
We just knock on the wood. We need a
You're just
bell.
trying to avoid looking,
I'm
looking left.
sorry, Commissioner Boswell.
So, Did you get a total count of vacant properties?
Yes, well, like I say, my survey
Yes,
is
you could.
my survey is a shoe leather survey, and it was mostly in North Redondo because that's kind of where I'm shoe leathering around.
Right.
So
That's fine.
I have a total of 7 properties that I've seen so far. And like I say, junk cars seem to be a feature of chronically vacant
Yeah,
properties?
we've had a few in my neighborhood, and it usually starts out with a rental person moves out and no one else moves in, and then it's brush, and then it's rats, and then the rats come to your house. And eventually somebody moves in and they find the place inside is just wrecked. These things go on being vacant for months and months and months. And I have to wonder, how is this even a habitable place? There, one across the street from me and one behind me, and one up the street. There have been three of them.
Really?
In about 20 years. I mean, big time period. But one of them, the new tenant, when I was talking to him, he says, when I first looked at the place, it hadn't been fixed up yet. There was actually holes in the wood floor, like somebody had smashed through to throw stuff under the house.
That's
So-
another feature of these properties is that many of them have a lot of junk. You can see it through the windows. And but I have to say, if I may say something about the attitude of code enforcement, it just seems to me, as a person who has tried to deal with them, that they are more interested in protecting the property owners than they are in listening to the actual residents. And these property owners are, in many cases, absentee. They don't live or vote in Redondo Beach. So I don't understand that attitude. I would think they would be more like the health department.
Right, good point. Okay, Commissioner Lamb.
My recollection of the, and you can correct me, Mr. Scully, my recollection of Mr. Narenheim's response was, how many houses do we have? And I think the response was 5 or 7. And he said, well, it's not really worth our police time to go after these. So he's thinking of it from a monetary perspective. But like Mr. Boswell has said, and of course I've seen them in my neighborhood, it seems to me that if we had a really accurate count, I am quite certain that every district has some empty houses. And there is one on Ford and Aviation.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right?
It's part of Joe Kirby's
Oh, is it
property.
property?
Yeah, I talked to Mr. Kirby about that, and he said the whole thing is for sale.
Yes.
He really wants to sell it, so.
Okay, so anyhow, we'll move on because, we're
Well,
kind
one
of
more-
stretching
one-
it. But this is the time to work on it because don't forget, we've only got a couple more months. So write a letter.
Okay.
He's
One-
going to hate
one-
me, but write a letter.
One more comment about this
Yes.
is that it's a shame that 7 isn't enough, and that who knows what number it needs to get to before work is done, and then maybe it's out of control. And then maybe it is even more expensive. Nipping it in the bud and getting the word out and getting these properties cleaned up and letting people know you can't get away with this. You can't just let stuff sit. What happens, and what has happened in all 3 of those cases that were in my neighborhood, is when someone finally does something and they go in, the house behind me in particular, somebody buys a house, somebody bought the house and gutted it because it needed it and redid the whole thing. In that initial gutting phase, about 500 rats left that house
Wow.
and came to mine. It was like overnight rat invasion. So the damage is worse than, hey, it just looks like crap in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
Oh, it's bringing down property values. Oh, wait until somebody starts to fix it up after rats been breeding in there for a year.
Okay,
Very
well,
good
thank
point.
you for
Very,
bringing
very
it to our
bad
attention.
situation if you let
Yeah,
these go.
thank you. Go ahead.
Thank you.
That tonight.
Thank you, and you're still the friendliest commission.
No, we are.
Unless your house is
Next
vacant.
month we bring. Okay. Did you want to, yeah.
a rat. Well, the rats are okay. It's not their fault. They will die painfully.
My name is Rick McQuillan. My friend Jim, also a co-member of the North Redondo Beach Business Association, recommended to come to this meeting. I'm actually, right now I'm a resident of Manhattan Beach, but I live about 1 block north of Artesia Boulevard. I've lived in the South Bay for about 40 years. I've lived in Redondo. And I've worked, I'm a local technologist. I've worked at Northrop Grumman in North Redondo. It was actually my first job out of college many moons ago. I work for Honda, I work for Chevron, so I'm kind of a local technology and resident. I love the South Bay. I like Artesia Boulevard. I see a lot of potential on that boulevard. And what I'm doing now as a technologist is I'm developing a software application that I call, for lack of a better term right now, community commerce, to where we can bring merchants and residents and visitors together in a relationship where we're not just selling products, but we're understanding what customers' goals are and what their needs are, and we're solving their problem. So what I'm working with right now is the concept of Artesia Boulevard as a place you go where you get things done. Now, and what I'm working on, it's also useful for the village, it's useful for the mall, but I just have this special affection for Artesia Boulevard. I just want to let you know that I'm doing this, and Jim said to come here, so that's who I am, what I'm doing. I know I've got no more than 200 rats in my house too. If I counted them, so 500, that's a record breaker. So.
Thank you, Richard. Thank you.
Anyway, that's all, thank you.
Okay.
Question?
Yes.
Yes.
Question? So as you know, there's an effort to revitalize aviation.
Oh, yes, yes.
So what is your vision for aviation?
My vision is retail. I'd like to get Skechers to open a second flagship on Artesia and get more apparel sales. It's the gateway to the beach. I've said to people in the North Redondo Beach Business Association, we ought to make this the gateway to the beach. And they've said it is the gateway to the beach, and it is. I mean, when you think about it, I mean, as Councilman Obaji said, there's 60,000 cars a day traveling on that street. But with zoning changes, with the FAR improvements, with a bit of work, I could see it as just a destination for residents and visitors. So, I'm just one person, but that's what I'm working towards.
From your mouth.
Pardon me?
From your mouth.
Yes, that's right.
Okay, well, thank you so much.
Sure.
So
thanks.
how do we get in touch with you?
Should I leave my card? I left my name there, but
Sheila would love your card.
I'll do that, sure. This is my, you can see this right now, actually, it's a very rough site. It's called cartesia.com. It's very rough, and it's about 10% of what's actually going to be there. But we use this map during the Dine Around Artesia event.
Yeah.
Can you
Could
go
you
back
speak,
to
could
the
you come
mic?
back to the podium, sir? Thank you.
I thought I was yelling so hard. There's a very crude mock-up of this. It's at cartesia.com. It's just a map there's about 350 businesses on that street, about 500 when you include the aviation. And we used that when we were walking around, Dine Around Artesia, and people liked it because it's easy to spot the businesses you're looking for. But the data is about a year old, but it lists the vacancies. So I want to work to help to fill some of those vacancies and maybe get some retail.
I'd like to get a card.
Yes. May I?
Well, you do.
Sounds like you're doing what we were hoping the city would do.
This is me, and that's specifically with Artesia.
Cool.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah, any questions on that? And that's me.
Okay, super.
I want to give you one, I think I gave you the Artesia, but this is with my information on it.
Great, thank you.
Thank you. Oh, sure.
Yeah, I'd like to, have you worked with Greg Kapovic, our
No.
waterfront economic development manager? And he's really plugged into all the economic development initiatives in the city, especially on Artesia. So I'll pass this on to him.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
absolutely.
That name I haven't heard yet, but I know Mickey, I know Zane, and we're kind of
Okay.
trying to slowly bubble this up. I go back and I'm programming with me and my AI co-pilots, so that's what I'm just starting to emerge into where I can talk about what I'm doing, so that's my situation.
Great, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, great. Anybody else on non-agenda items? Do
I'm
we
going to
have
make
any-
a motion to,
One
okay.
Do we have anybody online?
We have no attendees.
And then did we have any written comments? I don't think we did.
So we don't have any comments.
Okay, so we can just move on to the next. Okay, so let's go ahead and do the ex parte communication, and that would be regarding J1, which would be the public hearing for our new business. So ex parte, Commissioner Lamb.
None?
I think you and I talked a little.
We
Busted.
talked about the location?
Okay, that's it. None, okay. Commissioner.
Nothing to report.
Nothing to report.
Okay, Commissioner
Briefly spoke with Councilmember Nierenheim and Councilmember Obachi.
Okay, Commissioner Boswell
None.
and Commissioner Light.
None.
Okay, I had a little bit of a location discussion. Okay, great. Okay, J1 is a public hearing for consideration of an exemption declaration and conditional use permit to allow the operation of a massage business in approximately 1,100 square feet tenant space within an existing multi-tenant commercial building on property located at 730 South Pacific Coast Highway, Suite 101, in a commercial C2 zone. And I believe Mike Shurna, how do you? Sure. Okay, you're going to be speaking tonight. So could you stand up and take an oath, please?
Also swear in anyone who's going to speak.
Anybody else going to speak tonight on this topic? Okay, so you raise your heads, okay, and you promise to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth? Yes. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, and I think we probably have a,
We do indeed have a staff presentation. I'd like to introduce our new senior planner, Stephen Jiang. He comes to us from Rancho Palos Verdes. I don't think he's presented to this body yet.
oh, correct.
No,
He is not.
okay. Stephen comes from Rancho Palos Verdes. We stole him from Brandy Forbes, who you might know.
Payback. Huh?
Yeah, so we're really happy to have him, and with that, I'll go ahead and turn it over to Stephen.
Yeah, good evening. Good evening, Planning Commissioners. My name is Stephen Jiang, and I'll be presenting a conditional use permit for a massage business at 730 South Pacific Coast Highway. The subject site is located on the corner of Nob Hill Avenue and Pacific Coast Highway and is zoned commercial C2. The site contains commercial uses to the north, west, and south, with single-family residences to the east. The existing 25,600 square foot lot contains a 9,518 square feet commercial building with leasing space for 6 tenants. The proposed space for the massage business is 1,100 square feet. Here is an overview of the site. Most of the businesses are on the ground level with one insurance office on the second floor. The site currently contains 34 spaces for parking. This is the elevation for the site. The big red square is the space that the proposed tenant is going to be occupying. Just please note that the distance that the use will be from the Domino's and the Subway on the other end of the plaza, which tend to be the more intense uses on the site. The proposed business will occupy Suite 101, which is currently used as a Pilates studio. Proposed interior improvements consist of changing the gym-style layout of the previous business to add up to 6 new massage rooms, an employee break room, and a new reception area at the front. The proposed business hours will be every day of the week from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m., and the anticipated peak times will be about 4 to 9 p.m. The total number of employees on the site at any given time will be a maximum of 2. In the event that there are more customers than employees, the intention is that the employees will rotate around to the various rooms while the patrons are waiting for various relaxation times or waiting for their turn during their sessions. This is a close-up view of the floor plan, so you'll see that there's 5 individual rooms, 1 couple's room. The southwest corner of the site plan will show the room service sort of area for employees for breaks, storage of additional things like towels. And then the bathroom is already existing, and then also the construction of a new reception center out front with a lobby waiting area. No changes are proposed to the exterior of the building. Right now, only a proposed sign will go, which will be processed as a separate permit. Staff reviewed the general hours and operation of the existing tenants as compared to the proposed hours for the subject business and found that there would only be very limited overlap with the existing on-site uses. There are 2 existing takeout fast food restaurants on the site where conflicts with parking will be minimal since the customers for the restaurants typically pick up food and then leave the site. An insurance office also exists on the site, which closes by 5 p.m. daily, and a retail bicycle store that closes by 6 p.m. daily. Oh, and there's also a 24-hour laundromat that exists on site. The parking for the site, there's adequate parking. There are 38 total spaces for the site. The existing uses, when you're not including the proposed business, require 32, and the proposal itself will require 4 spaces per the zoning code. Therefore, there's an additional 2 spaces that are unaccounted for on the site for surplus for all of the businesses to use. In terms of licenses and experience, the applicant is currently in the process with the City of Redondo Beach in obtaining their business license. The business license process for Redondo is quite robust in that we do require additional state licenses from the California Massage Therapy Council. We also require permits from LA County Public Health, and they have a whole separate massage business division that they also process. And then in addition to all of that, all employees are required to have the CAMTC license. All business owners are required, or should have it. However, if the business owners or the employees don't have it, the city also requires a background check, a fingerprint, a background check for up to 5 years, a fingerprint scan, and insurance, basically also insurance that there has been no crime or convictions of any of the employees or the business owners on site. The proposed business owner currently owns another massage business in San Pedro, which has been owned by him and operated for 6 years without any crimes or convictions on site. Staff is of the opinion that the proposed use meets the criteria for conditional use permit. The property is adequate in size and shape. The existing driveway provides adequate access. There's enough parking on site. The applicant is still required to obtain the additional licenses and permits even after the CUP is approved. Additional conditions have been added to detail the maximum number of employees allowed, the hours of operation, other things such as the business is not allowed to sell or serve alcohol or conduct any kind of retail sales of that nature. And lastly, a final condition was added to ensure that the proposed use is only to occur within the existing space of the tenant, so no outdoor massage. Based on the findings, staff recommends that the Planning Commission open the public hearing, take testimony, close the public hearing, and make a determination regarding the exemption declaration and the conditional use permit for the operation of a massage business waterfront spa at 730 South Pacific Coast Highway, suite number 101. This concludes staff presentation. We're available for any questions, and so is the business owner if you have any questions.
Thank you very much. Yes, Commissioner Light.
Was I correct in reading that on Saturday it would only be open for 4 hours?
No, the Saturday it's supposed to be open from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. It's just the peak hours of the business are from 4 to 9. 4 to 9.
I thought I saw something about 7 to 11 a.m.
I'm not sure where that was.
Was that in the resolution or staff report?
Oh, it does say, you know, I misread it as well. It does say peak hours.
Okay, okay, 4 to 9.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. All right.
I was thinking the same. Okay, anybody else have any? Yes, Commissioner Conroy.
First question for staff. So along with this, what steps were taken to notify the surrounding residents about this business wanting to go in there?
As part of the public notification process, a public notice was mailed out within a 300-foot radius of of all the property owners around the subject site.
And did your office get any response?
We received no public comments.
We also posted the site as well.
Okay. I have a question for the business owner too, unless.
Oh, come on up. We have a question for
Were
you.
these notices mailed or just put on doorsteps?
They were mailed.
Hi.
Thank you. Letting us,
Commissioner Conroy has a question.
Or maybe a point of clarification. So if I'm reading this right, it says maximum number of 2 employees at any given time,
yes,
and you have a reception desk?
yes,
So I assume one of your employees would function as a receptionist at least part of the time?
Unless they're doing a massage.
So that would leave one other masseuse. But yet there's, what is there, 5 tables or 5 rooms?
It's so that, like, if we do get busy, they don't have to clean the room that they just used. They can just go to another room. And the reception is just basically for paying.
Sure. Okay, I guess it just, well, you're in the business, not me, but it just doesn't make sense that you'd have 5 rooms ready to go, but only 1 or 2 masseuses able to.
Well, we're,
to use
you know,
them.
one day, hopefully we'll be coming back to you asking for more employees, but at this time, we don't know what the future is going to hold. So we just kept it limited to 2 employees.
Okay. One other question I have.
Yes, go ahead.
So I'm really happy to see that you have another location. You've been in business at least 6 years, 6 years with this other location.
And
So,
we started through COVID, right? That was the hardest time to,
Amazing.
you know, we got closed down for 7 months, so.
Not to interrupt, we did have a massage place. It may have been the same or right next door. It was actually, they closed during COVID, and it was I think it was even maybe a school a little bit, like they were doing teaching. It was busy. There were a lot of neighbors that went there. So, yeah, go ahead.
all right, I just wanted to ask, how will you ensure compliance with all the health and safety regulations, particularly those outlined in Title VI, Chapter 2 of the Redondo Municipal Code, to maintain the legitimacy and integrity of this business?
First of all, we're going to make sure everybody's a licensed masseuse, you know, and we're just going to regulate our employees. Actually, you know, if somebody's really busy, you know, maybe more than everybody, you know, there's tail signs to know if somebody's not doing something right, you know, and at that, then of course we terminate those people.
All right, thank you.
Great. Anybody else? Commissioner Boswell?
Hey. So you've had another business in San Pedro for the last 6 years.
Yes.
Is it of the same scale, same number of rooms, same number of employees?
Yes.
How does it differ from what you're proposing to do here?
The
other
only
than
difference
location?
is there is it's a lower economical economy compared to Redondo. You know, it's here our massages are going to be 75. There it's 55. You know, that's the only thing I think.
Worth the drive.
Is the demographic is a lot different, and we do have 4 employees there, and it is a little larger. We have, I think, 2 more rooms.
Okay, expecting more business then. So, for one sec, so is he required to come back to us just to hire another employee?
Well, we have a provision that the planning division is allowed to make minor changes. You know, we could see a 1 employee change is certainly minor. We did a really good hard look at the parking, Stephen did, and there's, you know, there's certainly ample space. We surveyed it, you know, just infrequently, but there was always a lot of available parking. So, you know, we'd certainly see 1 more employee as a minor change. You know, a 4th employee, you know, it's doubling from what we're looking at now. We might want to bring that back. So if you would want to entertain up to 4 in your motion, we could make an amendment to the conditional use permit resolution and allow staff to handle any change up to 4 or more, whatever the.
Before coming back. right?
Before coming back, yes.
But there are only 2 excess parking, right?
No, there's
Well,
a
that's
lot.
just by the code.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
That's for the, if that, I got you.
Yeah, and
But
then,
the survey you had plenty of room for 2 more.
yeah,
Only 1 hour of overlap. So.
yeah, that's the real indicator that we've got ample parking is a lot of the businesses that Stephen
Correct.
mentioned, they're actually closed around 5 o'clock.
And then
Well,
just,
and the 2 of them are fast food, so people are kind of coming and going. So they're
Yeah,
grabbing their
right.
sandwich or their pizza and they're leaving. You know,
Yes.
and there are a lot of space. I pass by there almost on my running or walking almost every day. There's a lot of parking. It's
Yeah,
never
there
full.
really is.
Yeah, I was going to say too, with regard to that, there's a laundromat there too.
Right.
And when my washer wasn't working, I had to go.
Oh, yeah, that's where we go.
And there's not only parking in the front, there's a lot of parking.
Parking in the back.
So there's definitely ample parking.
And then I want to add one point of clarification, is that the zoning code for the specific use does not define the number of parking based on the number of employees. It's based on the size of the space that they're encompassing.
Okay, thank you.
Another question.
Oswald.
What are your protocols for security for your facility there? Among other things, if both your employees are doing massages, who's watching the front door? Or is there a buzzer or a
Yeah.
bell? Or
Yeah, there's an automatic
is there any
buzzer.
video? Or,
And we're
explain
gonna have
how
cameras
that
too.
works.
We're gonna have video cameras, and then we're gonna have a ringer, a sensor. Somebody walks through the door, it goes, and then the other person will come out.
Okay. And are you required to have all of these licensing
I'm not
items
required to,
in
but my wife
place
does.
for
My
your?
wife has the license. I'm not gonna be doing massage myself.
So are you required to have all of these licensing issues in San Pedro as well as here,
No,
like we are here?
no.
What do they require?
They just require the CMTC license,
California?
and they don't require that. It's weird how the public health licenses ran through the city of LA, because we did it with the county of Los Angeles. We put it in the paperwork, but they kicked it back to the massage district of the city of LA, which the city of LA in 6 years has never came to us and said, you need this license. And they don't charge you for the license, which I thought was kind of ironic, Seems like they would charge you for everything. Right?
There are.
I mean, if they have the opportunity, right?
Yeah. So if you are familiar at all with the city of Redondo Beach's rather nefarious, longtime relationship with the massage parlor business, especially on Artesia, you're probably understanding why these things are in place here.
Absolutely.
Okay, and you have all of this?
Yes.
Okay.
And as our whole objective is to do legit massage. That's all we do. The city, the massage in San Pedro is in the city of LA, which has a whole task force. That's all they do is regulate massage. I mean, Homeland Security, and we've never had no violations in 6 years. We got a squeaky clean record, and that's all we do is legit massage.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yes, Commissioner Craig.
Two questions. One, the term here, it says that these are employees. Are these going to be 1099 employees, or are these going to be actual employees of yours or
1099
subcontractors?
employees.
Okay,
They're 1099.
They're independent contractors?
independent
Yes,
contractors.
they all have their own California state license.
Okay, and then with regard to the permit requirement, do you have to keep a copy of their licenses on file?
Yes,
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
We have to actually post them on the wall from,
Right.
that's what the requirement is. And they have to have if they come in and investigate, they have to have their pocket ID. They have like a driver's license. This says California Massage Therapy Council on it, and then it has a picture of them and their number. And they have a picture of one over there if you guys want to see. And everybody has to have that on them at all times.
That's, I'm a realtor, I have to carry a card too.
Yeah.
I think we
I'm a
all
plumbing
probably
I'm a
carry
plumbing
cards up
contractor, and I
here,
gotta carry a
okay?
card
We
too.
are all
Yeah.
California licensed,
Yeah.
a lot of
And
us.
another
We
thing,
carry
I've owned
cards.
a AAA plumbing solution since 2002, so I'm a licensed plumbing contractor in the city.
Where's your card?
That guy was giving out all his cards, and I gave my last card to him. I mean, I gave my last card to him, I'm thinking, what did I do? Why didn't I bring more cards?
No, thank you, thank you. Okay, I think Commissioner Lamb has a
Clogging the
question.
sink's not going to be a problem, huh?
That's right.
So what about signage? What sort of signage are you
There's
going
a
to
picture
have?
Yeah.
right there.
From the sign maker.
Great.
Okay, and.
That's facing front to the street?
Yes.
Okay.
And I noticed on your San Pedro business, you have a full picture in the window. Are you going to use that as well?
I'm not really sure.
Okay.
We could, if you guys.
We would prefer that you, maybe I would prefer that you didn't.
Okay.
There
We
may
won't.
not be a code word,
There's
but there
not that
should
much
be.
attraction to it
Yeah, I
on
don't
that
think you-
window. Over that San Pedro, we got like,
Right, I've seen
it's
it,
like,
right.
you know, it's
Yeah.
like, and the city of LA actually requires you to have something that's see-through. That's why those pictures, it doesn't show it in the picture, but you can see through them.
Right,
Okay, okay.
Like you can't have blinds that you can close. You
okay.
can't have no doors that lock. You know, if somebody comes in and checks, they
Right.
have to be able to physically walk right in.
Okay.
Okay.
Just an additional comment. So he would require a separate permit for this sign, and we've got a percentage of the wall space limit on signage, and that's, probably going to take up that entire allowance for
Okay,
square
so-
footage of signage.
We might have an open sign in the window. See in the window
Okay.
right there in the middle, we'll have it says open and it blinks maybe, but
Mhm.
Mr. Scully, in his San Pedro place, he has stuff in the windows that
Right.
pictures, which probably wouldn't fit in our neighborhood, so it's probably best that you not do that. We'll put
Yeah, that's
that in
fine.
as a
That's fine.
condition, probably.
Did you say
Commission-
flashing signs?
Well, usually an open sign flashes. Usually you can make it flash or you can make it not flash. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Commissioner
Electronic sign.
Lamb?
Yeah, it's just a neon sign. It says open.
Right.
I think that's it for now. Thank you.
And it usually goes in the window. You don't hang it on the building or anything. It goes on the inside of the building.
Right.
Commissioner Light?
Just so you would know what you're able to do, and hopefully you're successful with this, I would propose that we do make it up to 4 without having to get conditional,
I agree
change
with
of the
you.
conditional use.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
4 would be a really good idea.
Yeah.
And what is the spa part? I have a question. What's spa and massage? I get the massage. What's the spa
That
part?
was just our name in San Pedro.
Oh, I see.
And we
Okay.
wanted to carry it over. And eventually, hopefully, we'll be able to maybe come back to you guys or whatever and maybe do some cold plunge or do
Oh, that'd be
something like
great.
that,
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I don't know, would we
Not
have to
right
come
now
back
here.
to planning again if we decided to do cold
That's-
plunge or not?
That would be a question
It would
for,
stand
Facials?
No
Facial?
facials.
No facials?
No facials.
Okay.
That's a whole other license. It's an
Oh.
esthetician license,
Okay.
so. But anyways, that's down the road if we even decide to do that, but,
There.
maybe add a shower, I don't
We have
know.
a question.
yeah, Commissioner Lamb?
So I know you mentioned the difference between San Pedro and Redondo Beach, but who do you expect your clientele to be here in Redondo Beach? And possibly the same, but I'd be interested to know what
We
you're seeing.
deal basically we don't do the rub oil on your body massages. So we're hopefully to get people that are active and exercising and working out and they want a therapeutic massage. That's our whole goal, is to do that. And then one day, if we do implement the cold water and all that, it can all work into that. And I'm into this thing called the Alpha program where I eat a certain way and I do things. And so I'm going to be, representing, the place as, superhuman protocol, and all this stuff I do, so, that's our whole goal is to make it more of a health conscious, massage therapeutic, place to come, And the only way you can get that is going and paying $500 to Dubonnaise or a really expensive spa to get that. So this is going to be more for the average person that can get that same quality at a smaller setting, and hopefully that works out. That's my whole, the whole goal.
Did you choose?
Go ahead.
Did you choose Redondo Beach because you believe, or you had some marketing information that?
No, like I said, I'm a plumbing contractor, so I've worked in this area a lot and with the Esplanade and all that. And I know most people that live in this area are pretty health conscious. You see everybody walking down the Esplanade and the Strand. And so I figured it would be a good location. And what happened is that I was trying, my landlord is also where Texas Lucy's is, right? I was looking there and I figured, well, that's close enough to the beach. We can call it Waterfront Spa. And then he's like, no. I got a place right on Nob Hill and PCH,
Oh,
you know?
perfect.
And I go, well, we're close enough to the water, right?
Yeah.
And so he showed me that place and it just worked out perfect. I figured that it's perfect, you know?
And, go ahead.
No, if you're not done, go ahead. I thought you were done.
And how will you be advertising?
We usually just advertise through Google, you know? And we might do Yelp, you know?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Commissioner Boswell.
So in your business plan, was this intended to be a sports massage type of a place primarily, or is it
No,
equally,
It's just health, basically, you know, just, you know, everybody, when I go and exercise, you know, sometimes I like a deep massage, you know, and I know from, you know, Waterfront Spa in San Pedro, that, you know, that's the kind of massage we do, you know, and all the other stuff is just going to be if we could do it in the future, and hopefully we'll be able to.
Okay.
Great. Anybody else? Okay, can I get a motion to close the public hearing?
Motion to close the public
And a
hearing?
second?
Are we in agreement on the 4 employees?
Well, we can still talk about it. We
Okay,
want to close
closing
the public hearing.
Right.
Okay, in a second.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, passes. Okay, so yeah, what did we think
you.
of?
Thank
Yeah,
you.
thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. What do we think about the 4 employees?
I'm in favor.
I'm in favor.
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
Anybody against?
I think we should do whatever will make the prospects of a successful enterprise, improve. So.
And I
Streamline it.
And I know it, the old massage place that was there, gosh, maybe, I guess my kids are in high school. Yeah, well, it was, but the neighbors used it, actually. They would go there. And matter of fact, we had a beloved neighbor who passed away very young, ALS, and he would roll himself down there in his wheelchair. And we had plenty of neighbors that used it as a sports massage place. So exactly what you're putting in there, they used it for. So, I think it's a great location for it. Yeah, it's really good. And wellness is, massages are great for people. It relaxes them. When we all know we're stressed out, it's a wonderful thing to add to the neighborhood. Any other questions or discussion? Commissioner Lamb, yes?
I have some comments.
Yeah, go ahead.
These are more technical. So the project, in terms of what our job here of the Planning Commission, I have a summary to some extent. The project meets the criteria for Municipal Code 10-2.620, which allows a massage business in the C2 zone. Okay, the project meets the criteria for the Municipal Code 10-2.1628 that allows for operating a massage business in Redondo Beach. The project meets all the CUP criteria / findings for Code 10-2.2506. It's consistent with the general plan. The sign requirements, the parking, loading. We didn't talk about noise, but you put it in the admin report. And other items that was included in the administrative report. No one has come to speak out against this business. Plan specifications and drawings have been submitted. The project is exempt from CEQA. And I have one correction. In the resolution for the conditional use permit, the code listed was 10-2.608. Now, it's my understanding that the code for the conditional use permit is 10-2.2506. So I'm just.
Oh my God, good job.
I was going to say that.
I wasn't going to bring it up.
I was waiting for you to bring it up, and I'm glad you did.
I left my
Because of
code
the new
book
guy.
at home.
Yeah.
Blame it on the new guy.
There might have been some land movement, and that's why it didn't get picked up.
So you might, I think you might have to change the resolution, or we'll have to put the new,
Yeah, I'm looking
add
for
it?
that reference now. That's in the findings for the,
it's in the resolution, and I think it's also in the admin report.
Well, instead of a
Need it next
licensed
month?
sociologist,
in accordance with
you
section
should be a licensed
2620.
planner.
Not too late.
Okay. Are you referring to that first finding
Okay, so,
on page 1 of the resolution?
I mean, yeah, we haven't, let me get that up.
What page do we have there, Sheila?
Okay,
Yeah.
resolution.
In the
There it is.
packet,
Okay,
27 or
Of the packet,
of the packet?
but page 1 of the resolution.
okay, so there's the,
Yeah, which page?
Page 1 of the resolution is page.
I think
1.
it's that PA one.
Okay.
Correct, yeah.
okay, there's one.
There it is.
That one, yeah.
Okay, so it says, number 2, in accordance with section 10-2.1628C
That,
of the Redondo Beach Municipal Code, approval of the conditional use permit is in accord. Okay, so that's, that 2.1628, right?
because, yeah, that reference there is to the land use matrix for the C2 zone. And that's these,
The ones that's missing is the conditional use permit 10-2.2506. Okay, so,
yeah, so we've got, first we go through the criteria for the special use, in the special
right,
use
right,
provisions,
right,
right?
right, right.
And then we go, let's see.
Where is
Uh,
the,
Page 6
and
of
then Such other
resolution.
conditions, let's see.
right. I think,
Do we have the site for the proposed?
right, because 2 is,
Oh,
2 is, should be the conditional use permit,
yeah.
right? One is that it's
Plan.
620. 620 is
Right,
that a
that's the
massage is
special use.
allowed. 1628 is it's allowed in
You're
the,
correct,
hold on, I'll tell you what that is, because I wrote it
yeah.
down.
Do we reference the condition?
Right. Okay, so 1628
We list the
Is-
condition, we list the CUP sections.
Okay, 1628 is massage business in Redondo Beach.
Right,
2620 is in the C2 zone. 22506 is in the conditional use permit. And I think signage is 10-2.1822, in case you were interested. Right?
yeah, let's see, the site for the proposed.
I knew you were so,
So we have the criteria in here, we just don't reference the section.
yes.
Site for the proposed.
Yes.
So section 2 needs to change to match the
Section
conditional
2,
use
yeah.
permit.
Yeah, I gotta pull up the code. If you give me a minute, let's see if I can pull that up.
5.2506. No, wait.
Got an Apple AirTag.
Let me get there here.
My leg didn't have
Agenda,
knee surgery back in
housing,
the early days of arthroscopic,
city clerk.
because they put me in a cast.
Just paperwork.
2 weeks.
No.
Takes the.
You guys started laughing.
No. Well, we always laugh.
We've been waiting 8 months, you know.
No, I know,
That
no,
needs
it
to be
just
kicked
has
off the
to,
planning commission for that.
by the time it leaves us, it has to have the right number.
506.
Yeah, I'm looking to see
Yeah.
if we've,
Because we,
what this other
it's
section
passed
is
as
here.
written kind of thing.
Yeah, this is just a technical. technical.
1628C.
Yeah. You saw we're all in support of your business.
Special 1628.
Could use a massage right now.
I could too.
Yeah. But I want to see
Hardly
if
turned my
this
head.
criteria.
May I talk to them?
Yes, please. Mike, can you come up while we're,
Right, I'm just.
Can we do that?
Commissioner, sure. Oh, wait, we
No,
showed
no,
the,
close the
we
public
closed
hearing.
the public
Close it.
meeting.
I know.
I'm
Close the
sorry,
Close
we
the
can't.
meeting.
Close the
I'm
public
sorry.
Close the
Can
public
I make a
meeting.
comment?
Yeah, go ahead. Well, right, we're still commenting between us.
My comment would be, it would be great
Yeah, okay.
as a athlete
These are the
himself.
criteria for the, yeah.
Great to
Yeah.
have some of those
Yep.
extras that he talks
Okay.
about. You know,
Oh,
an
yeah.
Ice bath,
Yeah.
maybe some nutrition things, right? To really, I think part of that is to,
Don't tell him, we'll open our own.
Gary Brecka, if you go on YouTube and see Gary Brecka,
Yeah.
he's like a human biologist guy, and he helped Dana White, like, had high blood pressure, sleep apnea, all these things no doctor could change, and he had him do a DNA test, and he found that he was like, he couldn't absorb certain minerals in his body, and took away his high blood pressure with no medication anymore. He lost a bunch of weight, and he calls it the superhuman protocol. Gets in cold water every day, he lays on the ground eating that, and he does a sauna, and plus eating like carnivore, real no carbohydrates. That's how I eat. I eat no pasta, no rice, no potatoes, no vegetables, no ice cream, no cake, nothing.
Kill
I
me
just
now.
eat beef and
Just kill me
beef
now.
Okay.
and
To look forward to it like that.
Thank you, Mike.
Massage.
I'm a vegan. No.
Sorry,
Did
you're out
you
of
get-
luck.
Yeah.
No vegetables have a
You're the
natural
subhuman.
thing in them that
Okay, did you get the
Yeah.
code proper?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we
So-
just have, on the item 2, in the findings,
yes.
we just have to make a change to the section referenced.
Yes.
So that sentence would read, in accordance with section 10-2.2506,
Okay.
instead of what it reads there. All the provisions for 1628 are in the section 1 above it.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Right.
we mentioned a couple of conditions. Can we, I think 1 or 2, well, 1 for sure. And then I would actually, I don't know if we need to make it a condition, but I'd rather not have stuff taped onto the windows. You know, Phil, I don't know if you saw the building in San Pedro, but it's
Well,
probably
okay.
best if they're not
So no,
taping
no
stuff on
window
it.
graphics?
Right, if that's all right.
These
Does-
are full window graphics.
Yeah, they're
But they
pictures,
were-
they're
They're the ones
What
you
are
can
they?
see
No,
out
I'm
through,
sorry.
right? Yeah.
They're pictures of
you-
massage.
They have
things like
that on the Thai massage one going down Torrance Boulevard, and yeah, it is kind of tacky.
Yeah, it's best not to probably have
I
that.
don't have that much window,
yeah.
but the
Okay,
signage
can you-
might be
Can
used
you
up
see
anyway,
what,
right?
Jacob, can you unplug
You
that?
can't see that far?
Can you
Let
unplug
me
that
put my
and I'll-
glasses on. That's a
Pass.
computer, I can tell that.
Yeah, that's probably best not to have that in our window.
It'll go into the.
Yeah, okay, that's very similar to what they have at that.
You okay with that, not having that?
Yeah.
And both
I
those
agree with
people
that.
live in Manhattan Beach. I
You
can do it.
okay with that,
Oh, but there's a
Oswald?
Christmas tree.
Okay, well, we can put Christmas trees, but.
See, if you have
okay?
signs, you can't see the
Okay.
Christmas tree in the
You okay
lobby.
with that, guys, if we don't? Okay. So I think, go ahead.
So the 2 conditions that you're looking to, one amend and another to add,
Right.
would be condition 7, that the business shall have a maximum number of 4 full-time employees at any given time. And then we would propose adding condition 13 to prohibit window graphics.
Okay.
Okay.
And
Except
Boswell?
they're not employees, they're independent contractors. So no more than 4 workers.
Workers, okay, full-time workers
Workers.
employee. Oh,
at
yeah.
any given time.
Yeah, employees are W-2s.
Yeah, the
so,
10.
they're-
And
Yeah.
any may have employees at some point, but right now it's all independent contractors, so you don't want to say employee and get
Okay,
him audited.
Okay.
So workers, no more than 4 workers.
Good one.
got it. Okay.
And it sounds like
Okay.
due to the
making
legitimacy
the
of
city
the
business
licensing, these are true independent contractors and not just a tax dodge. So I'm comfortable with that.
Did
When
you
is
want to
this
say
supposed to
anything
open?
else?
When is it
Ready to
projected
make a
to
motion?
open?
If anybody's ready to make a motion, make a motion.
Do you have a projected?
No, have a discussion. Yeah,
Still asking
Commissioner
questions.
Conroy, by all means. Commissioner
Oh, we
Conroy.
can't.
Close the
So
public
did-
hearing.
Did they give you a target date for
Commissioner
opening?
Boswell?
Just to
Commissioner
get started before?
Boswell?
Yes.
Some information from staff.
Commissioner Conroy is talking.
You mean
I
he
don't
was-
want to interrupt if you're getting
I couldn't hear
information
what he
from
was
staff.
saying. I'm sorry.
Good question, though.
If you would like to proceed,
I just
I
wanted
will
to,
stop my inquiry and allow you to,
all
allow
I
you
said is I
to
wanted to say something
sit yours
before
in,
there
and
was a
then
motion.
I will continue afterwards.
All right. Well, I like that the business operates entirely indoors, offers quiet services such as massages, which are inherently low noise and non-disruptive. Furthermore, the distance from nearby residential properties is 45 feet, which exceeds the required 20 feet. Although parking could be a concern, the business's peak hours, 4 p.m. to 9 p.m., are staggered compared to other tenants in the building. Still, we know in real-world conditions, especially during peak hours, there could be parking congestion, particularly due to the nearby fast food establishments and the laundromat. The massage businesses in general can raise concerns by the community due to past illicit activities in some cases. I'm happy to see that while the applicant has no history of infractions and the nature of the, in this case, the nature of the business might still evoke community objections, particularly related to monitoring for compliance with health, safety, and operational standards, as outlined in Redondo Beach MC. I was happy to hear from the chair that there was previously a massage business in the area. So with that in mind, I feel that granting the CUP appears reasonable given the business owner's experience and commitment to future compliance.
Okay, great. Thank you. Anybody else? Okay, can we get a motion?
Commissioner Boswell.
Commissioner Boswell, I'm so sorry.
You want me to finish?
Go, yeah, I couldn't hear you, I
Do you
think.
think that that's realistic to get through all the process by the end of the year?
It seems like a straightforward build out, that'd be quick for sure. But we hope that he can get built out before.
Well, the plumbing should be good.
The what?
The
The
plumbing.
plumbing should be
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
Where's the nearest other massage enterprise?
Stephen, could you answer that?
I don't know. I don't have the name of the business, but the nearest other massage is going to be located on this map. So, Jamal, can you display mine real quick again? So, so this blue buffer over here indicates the nearest massage businesses within 1,000 feet. And so the circle is, the nearest massage is going to be
That's what that is.
1,000 feet away, yes, from this line.
Okay, so they are complying with these distance
Correct.
between massage parlors. Okay. And I guess that's the closest one?
Correct.
And then how close is the next one?
I'm not too sure how close. I mean, if you really, I can.
I'm just messing with you.
Oh, I can do that in 5 minutes. You want me to show you? I can do it.
And then the next one after that.
Okay, I'll get you that list,
And
Commissioner.
how far till we get out of the city?
Three of them, actually.
That's right.
Four.
I'm not allowed to talk to you anymore. Nothing personal, it's
I'll take the blame. Okay, anybody else up here? Yes, Commissioner Craig.
I just want to say, once again, you're proving one of the myths of the city wrong. We're actually helping a business and we're business friendly and trying to encourage businesses to succeed in the city. And so I just want to say, let's continue doing that.
Yes, we are. We're very business friendly up here. Okay,
And to ask my last question,
yes.
which I forgot what it was. As far as you recall from other massage and related businesses, is there anything that they are doing that this business is not? And, okay, and vice versa?
No, you can't, by the fact that we have a specific section in our special use regulations to address this particular land use means we regulate it really, strictly. So I think they all, in terms of what their requirements are and how they operate, they're all pretty much, they all have to meet these standards. So it's similar in that respect. The offerings of the different types of massages and stuff, I really couldn't say.
Not so much that. I think he explained that fairly well. But as
Okay.
far as amenities, as far as, the way the lobby is used, are they allowed to put a potted tree out in front during open business hours to make it look a little more attractive? Is there a lighting situation that's particularly advantageous somewhere that maybe they can take advantage of?
No, I'm not aware of any particular, additional amenities that could come with this use to make it better.
What are their limitations on doing something like putting something right out in front of the door, like during a holiday season, maybe a Christmas tree or ornaments or a Santa Claus or
Yeah.
A large part of that.
or a giant skeleton for Halloween?
Yeah, for things of that nature, the scope of what is being proposed is typically going to be governed by the conditional use permit for the plaza itself. So typically permanent structures, permanent signs, permanent banners are going to fall under the sign code. Any site plan review for permanent new planters. But if it's temporary, the intention is to move it in and out, that typically would fall under, if it's not a sign, it would typically fall under just the rules and regulations for the plaza itself or the landlord if they regulate that. Since temporary structures they're not considered permanent structures, there's not much land use regulation for us to require. Someone can move an umbrella out and put it out and then bring it into their business. We don't have a regulation against that.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks for clarifying that. I'm done.
Okay, thank
Just
you.
to answer your question about amenities, in the other massage businesses in the area, there is one massage business close to Palos Verdes Boulevard, and they have a sauna.
Ooh.
Is it out front?
Hmm?
I'm just kidding.
Expensive. Okay.
And I've been there, yes.
Oh, nice. Okay, great. Could I get a motion to adopt the resolution?
I'll make a motion to adopt the resolution.
And a second?
Second.
And then, wait, I think someone actually probably needs to read the resolution. Can we
I think so.
make a resolution? Oh, I'm in a hurry. Okay, sorry, I shouldn't have jumped the gun. Anybody want to read the resolution?
I can read the resolution. If I can find it.
I can read it. I can read it. A motion to adopt a resolution of the Planning Commission, the City of Redondo Beach, adopting an exemption declaration and approving the request for a conditional use permit to allow the operation of a massage business, the Waterfront Spa, within an existing multifamily tenant, commercial building on the property located at commercial zone as at 730 South Pacific Coast Highway, Suite 101, case number CUP 2024-02. And we added two conditions. One, that there not be any signage in the window, and secondly, that they could have up to 4 employees. Okay, could I?
4 workers.
4 workers. And could I get a roll call of those in favor?
Commissioner Light,
Yeah, aye.
Commissioner Boswell,
Aye.
Commissioner Craig,
Aye.
Commissioner Gaddis,
Aye.
Commissioner Conroy,
Aye.
Commissioner Lamb,
Yes.
Chairperson Hazeltine.
Yes.
So
Okay.
2 to 4.
Welcome
Yeah.
to Redondo Beach. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Welcome to the city. Can I get this tape right here?
From 9 in the morning, 9 o'clock, 7 days a week, and not even like care,
Mm.
you know, so it's crazy.
Ah,
It's the best kind.
wow.
Take good care of her.
Very good.
Give her a massage.
Thank you.
I used to get massages, but I don't more.
Oh, you should. Okay,
Thank you.
thank you. Good luck.
Bye. Good luck.
Okay, do we have any items from staff?
Just a couple announcements. Today, we posted the final environmental impact report for the general plan update. That's required to be posted and available to the public 10 days prior to the city council taking action on it. So we got that up today. That, difference between the final environmental impact report versus the draft environmental impact report is really the addition of, the inclusion of all the comments we received during the comment period. It was about a 47-day comment period. Got a number of comments, and then all the city's responses to every comment. So that's the additional information that goes into the final environmental impact report. And that was posted today. We have our public hearing with the council, the 3rd public hearing, where we're really, the focus is all housing element implementation. The general plan's kind of become, it's bifurcated as we've termed it. And we're taking all the housing related items now, and then they're deferring, the council is deferring all the other items, FAR increases to Artesia and aviation and industrial zones and anything not related to residential. So we'll tackle that in a little less than 2 weeks, and that'll be a big step for us to get, because that's a majority of the changes, certainly to the zoning ordinance. They're almost all housing element related. So all that work will get through the council, and we're looking forward to that. And then we didn't put it on this agenda. I got a call from Chair Hazeltine, and we dropped the ball on our end. October is supposed to be the commissions, when the commissions appoint or make nominations for chair and vice chair or secretary. And we didn't get it on this agenda. It will be on the November agenda. So I just wanted to give you a heads up. Thank you, Chair, for reminding me. And that's it. We got some big projects coming up too. So you'll see the agendas are going to be filling up.
Okay, great.
Okay.
Great. Go ahead.
At the council meeting the other night, I asked Mr. Wazansky about the Galleria project, which is probably what you were alluding to. And he stated we may have to do a special meeting for that, or would it be the regular meeting?
We actually just spoke to the applicant today. It looks like we're getting everything ready. We're still getting a little bit more information from them, and we're shooting for the December meeting for that. So we don't think we're going to need a special meeting.
Was this for South Bay?
This is for the gallery.
For the Galleria, the phase 2.
Social
South Bay
district?
Social District.
The
Yes,
December?
yes,
Okay.
and that's it.
What day in September does that fall on?
Does anybody have a calendar handy?
I could have done that. You had it at the tip of your tongue.
I don't know.
Okay, did we have any commission items or referral to staff? Yeah, Commissioner Lamb.
So one, of course, was an update on the social district. But before my questions, I just want to commend you, Mr. Scully, Ms. Director Weiner, and all of your staff for all the incredible work that you have been doing on the general plan and getting that through Planning Commission, then the council, with all the questions and challenges. I know it must have been just a big push.
Yeah, appreciate that. It's been a team effort because staff's had to pick up the slack with,
Sure.
while we're trying to drill down on how this, everything is coming together on this. So yeah, the staff has really stepped up, so we're appreciative for sure.
Yeah, a big enchilada.
Yeah.
It's a big enchilada. So I wanted some updates on the, we've already done this, a social district, Grub House.
Oh, yeah.
Anything that you know of?
I don't. I was thinking about them as well. I was planning to ping the building official or reach out to the architect and see. My last conversation with them was they were getting their final comments in, or their final revised drawings in, but that was like a month ago or so. So I haven't heard anything. I have to stamp those plans before they get the permit issued, and they haven't asked me to do that yet. So I've reviewed it and approved it from planning, but a lot of times it keeps going through the other departments and they get revisions, and then we've got to, they ship it back to us. Hey, all these changes happen. Can you recheck it? And I've been waiting for that. It hasn't come yet, but hopefully really soon.
So we're probably not looking until 2025.
I mean, I hope not. I would be surprised if it went that long because they were pretty close from the last time I heard.
Okay, can you give us an idea of what's coming up in the next, in November?
In November, well, we've got a couple projects I know. I don't know if Stephen has one. I've got a daycare that's coming.
You mentioned that, yeah.
And then we know South Bay Social District. I've got to get a list together for that because we got to get, advertising for it. But then there's a lot of, there's going to be so much follow-up on the general plan that's going to circle back, through this body. And that'll be next year. But, a lot of the recommendation the Planning Commission made that you all made on the PCH corridor and having a plan for that's going to be coming, and so many, we're discovering a lot of things we are wanting to recommend changing in our zoning ordinance that have to come through you. So a lot of stuff next year for sure.
Okay, all right.
Okay, great.
One last.
Yes.
One last question. The idea of value capture zoning
Oh, yeah.
came up.
What is that?
Do you have a short synopsis of what that is?
Well, it's a new tool jurisdictions are looking at implementing that it's a little bit akin to a development impact fee, but it's using the increased value of increased density or intensity for development. Instead of just placing it on the property, you identify an area where you have the development community has the ability to purchase that intensified development commodity, right? So, there's a lot of work that has to be done to educate, us as staff on that. And the council, I think their direction was to think about bringing back a professional to help provide additional information on that so they could be a little bit more informed on how that would work. But it's a really interesting, it's kind of inverse of a development impact fee, where the commodity is higher density or increased intensity and floor area ratios.
Yeah.
And the value for the city would be that we would be able to use the funds for infrastructure,
Right,
community
correct.
benefits.
Correct.
And we don't get that. This would be beyond the Quimby fees.
Oh, yes. And
Right.
so, and that's kind of the tricky part that I see is you have to first have an assessment or a vision of what it is those fees would go to, and then the cost of the implementation of those fees. So then you could base then the value of the increased density or intensity. So
Yeah.
it's kind of a, it's a
City of
really,
Los Angeles is actually doing something very similar that I thought was really interesting, that it's on beyond Quimby, right? You pay a Quimby fee, but then you also pay these other fees.
yeah.
I think it's in the community benefit bucket. It's not the same as this, but it's very interesting.
Yeah.
And then they have a committee that has the community, that determines what community benefit,
Oh, wow.
where you get the money from the developer into that bucket, then a committee decides what community benefit the money will be spent on. So I thought that was.
Interesting, yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. Different from the value capture, though.
Yeah.
So this would make a lot more sense to me if I understood, what is the intention of this?
I mean, the intention is to, there's a couple of drivers really, cities looking for opportunities or ways to finance infrastructure and other improvements in the community. Since the tool, the number one tool for that was redevelopment. The old redevelopment agencies, that was a big financial tool for local jurisdictions. Now that's gone, and they're looking at more creative ways of trying to finance community infrastructure improvements and other, improvements that the city might want to make, but don't have a funding source for it.
So it's looking for another way to get fees.
Yes.
I got an idea.
And when you think
side of
about
the
it,
street.
yeah,
What does density and intensity have to do with that?
Well, the way it works, or the way it potentially can work is if you, let's say on Artesia, you just put an increased FAR, up to 1.5 on those properties, they increase in value right away. And so it's trying to capture that, instead of just gifting them a high density or higher intensity allowance and giving them the benefit of all that increased value, the development, it's put out there, but they can only be realized if a developer pays for it.
But, so that increases property taxes? What's the generation of?
Then the property tax will come in when the actual improvements are done and it's reassessed.
That's how you get the extra money.
Yeah.
All right.
So that kind of work, aviation Artesia, that's what.
Well, we don't have that kind of a program in place.
No, but that's kind of where we're envisioning it.
Yeah, I think, and there's a lot to learn on it. I'm just getting familiar with it myself.
Okay, Commissioner
So
Boswell.
to finish that thought, surely the discussion has been debated endlessly among staff that do we really want to, considering the dire situation on Artesia, do we want to add anything that will make a developer that could be bringing something really cool to Artesia say, we'll go to El Segundo?
And, that's the balancing, that the city's going to do.
The need for money is ever present, and that will, no matter how much you get. somebody's going to say, but if we had a little more, look what we could do. There's always going to be that need. Not just capitulating to that every time an idea comes up, hey, look at this, we could ding them over here. Is probably better for attracting businesses and attracting proper development to areas that are in particular need. Now, if somebody wanted to develop something in Riviera Village, double the fees. I mean, God, do we really need anything else down there besides parking? But up in North Redondo, we have this huge effort along Artesia and Aviation, which needs a lot of help. Do we want to do anything that might discourage this over the next at least 5 or 10 years?
Yeah, and that's the decision the council will be making. And I think
When is this coming around to the council?
what's that?
When is the council going to be doing that?
Well, they're, as part of, the other category that has been split off from the general plan update, they'll be looking at that issue.
Do you know when? About when?
Probably beginning of next year.
Okay,
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Commissioner Craig?
Actually, I think, I know that we're talking about some complex definitions, but to simplify it, it's almost like what used to happen in the city. For example, a gentleman owned a dirt farm over here, wanted to have his property upzoned. He gave a check to a council candidate to wink, wink, help me get my property upzoned. And then that would have happened if we didn't have a check and balance in there. We have to be cautious about how we do that. That's all I'm saying.
Agreed.
Especially when you need to take into account the surrounding neighborhoods, which is why we have zoning. So certainly something to be concerned.
So a lot to learn.
Yeah, one other question on a
Yeah, go
totally
ahead.
separate topic, but when the council meeting last week, or on Tuesday, we were talking a lot about what triggers a DD vote or what triggers a substantial change in property or land use. And the question I had was, I've been told two different stories, and I don't know if what's true, and I know maybe it might depend on the situation, but I know that in a CUP, there's something about a substantial change in usage. For example, if I had like a business like a gentleman was here earlier, and I got a permit for 2 employees, now I have 10. Does that require immediate CUP change versus I'm doing the same use, I'm just adding a couple more people? Because I've heard 2 different stories about some things in the city that, well, I'm still doing the same thing, I'm just adding a couple more people. So, and I'm operating still within the same footprint. So I don't need to have a DD vote, for example, or a change vote. Is that the case, or am I being told something different that's not correct?
I mean, so you're referring to there's a entitlement, a conditional use permit, for example, on a project or a business, and they want to come in, and it's got, certain conditions on it, and they want to come in and do something alternative or expand the business in some way.
Probably keep it the same, like say if the gentleman was here tonight, he sold his business to Rob, and Rob wants to add 3 more people.
Yeah.
Does he need to get a whole new CUP, or is it because it's the same use, it doesn't change?
Yeah, I mean, there is the minor change clause, right? And the rule of thumb just generally is like anything more than 10% is.
Oh, so there's like a percentage just.
Yeah, and it's not written anywhere. It's just kind of a, that's where it goes beyond minor.
Yeah, well, that's where I guess my question was, because I tried to figure out what that element of triggering would be, because if, you're right, if it's not written down, it's not enforceable.
Yeah.
If it's I've been at the front desk for 10 years, and I think this is more than 9.9% or whatever, it's okay, versus 11%, it's going to trigger something.
Yeah.
That was the only question. So really, we don't have anything written down that says that.
We really don't.
Okay,
no.
that was the point, because I was at the meeting and we were told if something changed, it would definitely happen. And I've been told something different, that it wouldn't happen because if it's, but you're saying there's nothing written down. So in effect, that might actually be true.
Yeah.
Okay. And the other thing is, if someone is in violation of a CUP, and the reason I mentioned it, we got a couple letters from some folks about one of the health centers in the city who have CUPs, but they're in violation of it. what happens after that? How does the city enforce that? Does it come to the planning department, or do you guys
Yeah,
review it, or what happens?
We would initiate, if we're aware of it, we would have the code enforcement division go out
Mhm.
with we would give them the, condition that we've
Mhm.
been informed of they're in violation of, and then they would investigate that.
Mhm.
And if it was true, then we would require that they comply with that condition or submit a modification to that conditional use permit, and then we bring it back here.
So we'll come back here. And the reason I mentioned that, because I know we got 2 letters, about something happened in the old hospital building, and I didn't know if that was something that the city was doing anything with, or if it wasn't being done, so. Okay. I guess my question would be, are those 2 letters we got, one have to do with, I guess, whatever, there's tenant usage that, I guess, doesn't match your CUP. So is the city looking into that, or is the city?
Yeah, there is, on that particular property, there's a CUP that's going to come here to.
Right. Would that be for a future? I'm saying for the current use right now, because like that's what the letters that we all received in the planning commission were about. It said that there were tenants that were operating contrary to what the CUP that they have currently.
Our determination was those businesses that came in were consistent with the conditions.
Okay, that's why I was asking,
Yes.
Because we all got the letter, and then I think someone else had left a letter was saying
Yeah.
something like, and I thought I just asked, so, okay.
Update on something?
Yeah.
So some time ago, years, we, speaking about being business proactive, we went all out for Doug's Mobile on Artesia and Inglewood. And one of the things he was going to do is bring in a Haagen-Dazs ice cream shop, which I don't see. So what's up with that? What's up with that whole approval that we made a couple of years ago? Because it doesn't look like anything's actually happened.
Which project was
Doug's
that?
Mobile
Gas
on the gas
Oh,
station.
oh.
Artesia
Artesia
and
and Inglewood.
Inglewood on the
Yeah, right.
southeast corner.
I'd have to research that. That was they were converting some bays, right?
They were
They're gonna put in
changing to
chargers.
a food shop.
And kind of rebuild
their
Adding a
store
lot
a
of
little
electrical chargers and electric vehicle chargers and a Haagen-Dazs franchise.
I thought
You're
I thought the council already
Right.
did that. It was in front of the council, I thought.
But what's happened? I don't see anything, I don't see that anything's changed.
Oh, like they
On
have
that lot.
I'll have to check that out and see where they're at.
Because if that
sometimes
Haagen-Dazs shop
get-
is there, it's well hidden.
Yeah. Conditional use permits come in and sometimes they never get built out.
Yeah.
And
They
that's-
never follow through.
Now,
Yeah.
that could be a fine.
Oh,
That could be
yeah.
a source of
Well,
income for the city.
Okay,
If they don't
anybody
happen
else?
in
Yes,
like 3
Commissioner
years,
Conroy.
then they just,
Wow.
So you have like a 3-year,
Yeah.
it's just like a approved permit. You got
Yeah.
it's got a 3-year life, and then you can do one,
Where's your gavel?
renewal
they can get an extension.
extension. That's
Yeah.
what I was looking for. Can you do more than one extension?
Yeah, there's no rule that,
Limit it?
yeah,
just
you
keep
could,
getting extensions until you
keep
finally.
you could get
around to
multiple
doing it.
extensions.
Thank you, Commissioner Boswell. We have Commissioner Conroy.
A couple of quick things. First of all, welcome Stephen Jang to the
Yes.
department and the city. I wanted to next add on to Commissioner Lamb's compliments to the department. In addition to all the other great work you do, the presentations that that your department gives us have been fantastic. The level of detail and the professionalism, it makes our jobs that much easier.
Thank you.
Second thing, what's going on at where Zana's Grill was? I see they're painting it white and stuff's going on.
Is that the one on PCH?
Yeah, what's going on next to where Pat's?
Yeah,
Yeah, Pat's too.
I know that restaurant went out and,
Time ago.
yeah,
So did Pat's.
I can't remember who's
All
going
right.
in.
You don't have them all memorized?
No.
And then the last thing, I got a question from a resident in my district, and maybe this doesn't pertain to you. And she asked me, what is the schedule with the resurfacing of all the streets throughout the city? Because
Yeah.
it's been going on for, what, year and a half now or so?
Go on for
Yeah, and those are.
And
uh-huh.
I said, well, let me check on the city website and I'll
Yeah.
let you know. And I couldn't find anything.
couldn't
So
find
does
it.
something exist?
Can't find anything
It,
on the site
I
anywhere.
thought it did, because I was going to say, to have her go to the website. There's a capital improvement plan,
Search planning
like,
commission. It just tells you how-
live table
I've always been.
that
It'll show streets and
that shows
dates?
all the CIP projects, and those resurfacing projects are CIP projects.
By street name.
Yeah, by street
Okay,
name.
I'll take another look.
Yeah, it's, and if it's not, send me an email, because I know the CIP manager, Jesse, and he could tell you exactly when that's queued up.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, anybody else?
So bad.
Could I get a motion to
How much
adjourn?
should we spend for that?
Motion to adjourn.
And a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Nope,
Okay,
Okay.
not unanimous.
thank you.
You
John.
can stay.
I guess I'll move back.
Yeah, you can stay at